Welcome to Action Network's coverage of the 2024 Preakness presented by TwinSpires. I'm Brendan Glasheen, joined today by Mike Conti and Sean Zerillo to discuss their best bets for this weekend's races. Today's picks are brought to you by TwinSpires. Create your new wagering account with TwinSpires and earn an exclusive $400 sign-up bonus using promo code ACTIONRACING. $400 bonus cash will be credited in increments of $100 for every $400 wagered. To earn the full $400, bonus players must wager $1,600 within 30 days of creating a TwinSpires account. The sign-up offer cannot be combined with any other registration bonus offer, void wherever prohibited by law, must be 18 and up or 21 and up where applicable. Terms and conditions apply. We'll just take it the easy way here. Mike Conti, we'll start with best bets. When you look at the card, we've got the news on Muth, of course, who is scratched. That's going to change some things in your approach. I'm imagining here, best bet for Preakness. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to number 8 as my top selection, Tuscan Gold. Chad Brown runner. Chad's won this race twice in recent history. Tuscan Gold's the least experienced horse in the race. He only has 3 career starts. The last time out was in the Louisiana Derby. And if you go back and watch that race, he had a pretty troubled trip. He was 4 wide, and then as he started to make his move, on the far turn, he gets surrounded by other horses, and he was forced to mildly check at the top of the stretch by being behind some of the other pace horses in that race. By the time he was able to regain his momentum and finished with some interest, the other closers, Catching Freedom and Honor Marie, had already gotten the jump on him. With that number 8 post position, he should be able to sit a far cleaner trip in here. And Chad has this horse, it seems, primed and ready based on the work tab. You also look from 2 to 3, the big buyer jump, and then from the first start at 3 to the Louisiana Derby start, another pretty significant buyer speed figure increase. Not improbable to assume that this horse is going to take another step forward. 8-1 on the morning line with the scratch of Muth. I think he will definitely come down some, but I think we probably will still get somewhere in the range of, between 9-2 and 6-1 on this horse. So he's going to be my top selection in here.
Sean Zerillo, I know you have similar sentiments for Tuscan Gold. Where else does your best bets card take us?
Yeah, I do like Tuscan Gold. These followed the same exact path that Chad Brown took, cloud computing and early voting, 4th lifetime start, coming off of either placing or showing in a Kentucky Derby prep, and now skipping the Derby, going straight to the Preakness, and going to be a new shooter in this Preakness and fully fresh. Seems like he will run a career best race on Saturday. So I absolutely do like the number 8 Tuscan Gold. But with Muth scratching, I do have to move up his stablemate, the number 9 Imagination. He was the heavy favorite in the Santa Anita Derby, and he will probably be the lone pace horse in this race. And I think he can get away on a loose lead potentially if nobody presses him. So given the pace scenario, I definitely want to be using the number 9 Imagination as one of my win contenders. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Derby winner, the number 5 Mystic Dandy, who almost seems like a potentially underrated Derby winner at this point. But Mystic Dan did a lot of good work in the Derby, other than just getting that dream rail trip from his jockey. He was fast. He was close to a fast pace. 6th going around the far turn, and basically all of the other horses who were around him or near him ended up dropping back, and there was essentially a pace meltdown because the winners did come from further back in the pack. So I do like Mystic Dan in this race, particularly if it's going to rain on Saturday or over the weekend at Pimlico. His best career race came in the mud, and then at Churchill Downs a couple of Saturdays ago was after a Friday where it rained all day. So I think Mystic Dan's form certainly picks up if it's going to be a little wet or a little bit softer on that dirt. But my top 2 win contenders, the number 8 Tuscan Gold and the number 9 Imagination.
All right, excellent. Let's discuss long shots, Mike Conti. Where does your mind go when you want to look down the board?
Yeah, I mean, look, the long shot in here that I like is the number 2, Uncle Heavy. The horse would need to take a pretty big step forward from buyer speed figure perspective. But there's a couple of things that I like about the horse at 20-1. 2 of the horse's 3 lifetime wins were over and off track, 1 muddy, 1 good. As Sean mentioned, it appears that we're going to have rain on Saturday, which moves Uncle Heavy up to me. The other aspect, jockey Irad Ortiz Jr., arguably the best jockey in North America, one of the top jockeys in the world. He doesn't get this call unless this is a horse who, he believes truly has a chance in here. So for those two reasons, he's going to be my long shot play, number 2, Uncle Heavy at 20-1. The only other comment to make, not going to be a long shot because of the scratch of Muth. And as Sean was talking about, Imagination 6-1, Bob Baffert going to get a loose lead, it appears, from the outside. Baffert's won this race 8 times, including last year. Hard to keep Imagination off of any ticket. But again, with Muth's scratch, those odds on Imagination are going to come way down, not just because of the fact that he's a good horse. He's also trained by Baffert. He's the lone speed. So you're going to see those odds come way down, which I think gives value in other places.
Sean Zerillo, Uncle Heavy, someone you're eyeing as well, and where else might you be going for long shots?
Yeah, I don't think Uncle Heavy is necessarily a win contender, but I do think he can run 4th or potentially 3rd in your exotics, and he's absolutely a horse I'll want to be including underneath. There were others in a similar price range, like the number 1 Mugatu Homer I'm going to toss out or try to beat completely. And this is also the furthest that Uncle Heavy has ever run in his career too. So may get the wet track, getting a great jockey, and going to be going the furthest he's ever run in his career. I think this is potentially a horse who could move up if he ends up running in the Belmont, but I do think the Preakness could be a good distance for him as well. Also, decent trainer stat. His trainer, Robert Reed, running in graded stakes, 13% win rate across 31 races, but a positive ROI doing so. So knows how to point his horse to the correct races. The only other horse who we haven't mentioned yet, who I'm going to be including on my tickets, is the number 3 Catching Freedom. I want to have both Derby horses somewhere in here. I think Catching Freedom is probably going to be a little bit closer to the pace, just in a smaller field than he was on Derby Day. I'm just not sure if he's going to get the pace he needs to run into here with only one real speed horse in order to win the race. But I absolutely think Catching Freedom could end up running in the money, and he will be on my tickets. I just don't necessarily like him anymore in terms of hitting the board than a horse like Uncle Heavy at 20-1, which is why I'll put them on a similar line if I'm playing exotic tickets.
He's Sean Zerillo, Mike Conti. Thanks to these guys for discussing best bets for Preakness. For more horse racing betting content, be sure to check out actionnetwork.com and also our Preakness exotic video coming shortly.